I was two months. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I was 2 months from going bankrupt.
Really?
And I put everything I had into it. We moved to Italy. We moved to the factories, and we survived.
She on the road, she riding it like carnival. I done did the impossible. Go. That's so good, she on the road, she riding it like carnival. I done did the impossible.
Quick disclaimer before I actually get into the main point of the video. This is all my opinion. This is what I believe. Don't get angry. I'm also a Kanye fan, so I understand. But this is all just my opinion. Just wanted to say that first. Now, I want to divide this into 3 sections of how I define a Kanye album from being successful. 1, being the actual quality of the album in my opinion. 2, the public reception. And 3, of course, statistics and the album sales and shit like that. That would be how I process if it's success or not. Now, for the first part, the quality album. It's a 16-track. Actually, well, Good Don't Die was removed, but it's a pretty long album usually for Kanye. He doesn't usually make the longest albums. Quality-wise, if you're gonna rank this in Kanye's discography, I would personally think it's on the latter end. It's not the top 5 or even top 8 Kanye in my opinion. It's obviously above Jesus is King, Donda. I even would go to say it could be above Life of Pablo. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean much when people say Kanye fell off or this does. It's a good album. It's a Kanye album. Of course, it's going to be good. But unfortunately, it's just not peak Kanye. That's a good way to put it, I guess. But people who said he's fallen off, I don't think he did. Especially in his album, it's definitely could be improved. I wish there was more of a direction, a more general theme over the whole album. I guess it is just Kanye saying I don't give a fuck, but still, things like Graduation had a specific theme to them, Stadium Boost, then the College Dropout was more soulful rap. They had themes to it. This album doesn't seem to have any direction. But on the good side of things, Dolla Sign's verse, he was very good on the album. I know a lot of people were not happy to see him on the album, but he did really well. I think he really kind of carried in a lot of ways the album. Other than that, it shows that Kanye didn't fall off, but it definitely isn't one of the stronger ones. But for success, I would say this is a successful quality-wise, but then I'll get into the other points, which may be a bit different. The perception of the album was very mixed. There was a lot of people who said, yeah, it's a shit album, or Kanye fell off, but then there was a lot of people that said, oh, this is the best album since The Life of Pablo. And that kind of, that pretty much is how the public viewed it. Now, I know a lot of Kanye fans who really liked the album, and I know even people who aren't Kanye fans appreciated the album and thought it was pretty cool. Other Kanye albums like Graduation, College Dropout, Late Registration, Yeezus, all those albums, they got a much higher reception in the public, but you can kind of chalk that down to Kanye's fucking remarks, things he's said, which definitely just makes a lot of people in the public hate him, which you kind of can understand from out of context views. So that does, decide a lot of people's opinions on the music. But even overall, for Kanye fans, I feel like it's the most important factor into perception. And most of the fan base really enjoyed the album, which is, I would say, definitely a success in, because the public, it doesn't matter what they think, but it's a bit like if you're in the Kanye fan base, if you're a fan of him and you enjoy it and all the others do, then it's a successful album for people who are actually going to listen to him in the first place. So yes, I would say public perception is definitely a success for him. Now, when it comes to album sales and things like that, this is probably the strongest point, honestly, from all factors. The Vultures 1 debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 140,000 albums. Like, compared to his other albums, but for where he is and the way people see him in the public compared to before, it's a pretty good, it's a pretty good amount. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is the biggest collab album ever so far, like in history, like the highest streaming, which is pretty fucking impressive. It beat Her Loss, which with Drake and fucking 21 Savage. That's a pretty big achievement. So for the third point, yeah, I would very much say this is a success. I mean, he's made a fuck ton of money from it. Even in the face of backlash, he's still #1. Like, honestly, he's still the king, I guess. Essentially, to conclude the video, yeah, Vultures 1 was a pretty big success, both on the fronts of, fans' perception of it, sales, album sales, and, like, records being broken. And, not publicly, wasn't like, not a lot of people were hating on it, but from all things considered, this was a very good, like, very big success, and he's releasing more, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown review thing. And if you want to see more or any other albums, just let me know. And thank you very much for watching, and see ya.